Greetings, everyone. How you doing? How are you doing? I'm sorry that I'm not there with you this weekend. I know you guys are going to take care of business. I am with a delegation of about 25, I believe, from Lansing, Michigan to our sister city in southeast Ghana, a community by the name of Akapim South. We've had this relationship for over 30 years, and this is a trip that was scheduled about 2 years ago, and both my wife and I are going. We have a particular interest in their education program. We've been working with them over the years, raising money for books. As a matter of fact, we're carrying with us pretty close to 40 laptops, thanks to the generosity of Lansing Community College. I wanted to just take a few minutes to talk to you about activities that have occupied my time since we last met in April. No, it was May, for the May meeting. Number one is the Legacy Campaign, and as I speak to you at this moment, we had, to my recollection, about $33,000 in donations. While some will look at that and say, well, that's good, well, it's far from our target of $150,000. I commend the over 130 deacons and Friends of Talladega and organizations that have committed themselves to providing finances. So I'm very grateful. But we have a lot of work to do, and one of the things that local chapters can do is to shake the bushes, so to speak. And when you out shaking the bushes, remember that there are folks out there who will give other than Talladegans. Of course, your first target would be Talladegans. Now this fundraiser, as you know, ends the 31st of December. And I'm quite sure that we will reap additional monies. How much, I don't know, but there's a lot of work to be done. And one of the activities that I want to call your attention to related to the Legacy Campaign is the National Giving Day. I believe it's November 27th. I think that we should make an all-out effort to take advantage of that day by contacting Talladegans far and wide and asking them to make contributions to the Legacy campaign. And I see all of the chapters engaged in this. I will be sending information out about this particular day. I think you can go to the website, you can Google it, and you can see that this is an event that has been around for some time, and a lot of nonprofit organizations take advantage of this particular day, and hopefully we will be able to do likewise. Now, of the items that have occupied my time other than the Legacy campaign, I want to call your attention to this draft. You have a draft of a strategic plan. And let me tell you how that started. When I came aboard, one of the first questions I asked myself was, what is our plan? Plan for what? What are we to do other than meet twice a year, have a fundraiser? There's got to be something bigger than that. And I became familiar with a lot of chatter out there on social media as to why folks weren't given totality to college and what needed to be done and so forth and so on. And one of those voices out there was Chris Jones. And I made a call to him, attorney Chris Jones in Memphis, Tennessee. And I challenged him to take up the mantle of leadership and pull together a committee to draft a plan for Tcnaa, a strategic plan, which you have in your possession. And I'm quite sure you see that it is a general plan. It is not loaded with specificity, but it lays a foundation for us to utilize in terms of eventually completing a plan. Now, there are a lot of recommendations in there. And with all of these recommendations, it's going to require a lot of work. And it has implications for even our bylaws. I think that there is some language that suggests that we modify our bylaws to some degree, throw out some of the information, add information, so forth and so on. Please take this seriously. We're at, in my opinion, a crossroads here. There are a number of things that, again, that are suggested that I think that would be of benefit to the organization. The other thing that I spent my time on was how do we improve our website presence? And I must say, I spent a lot of time looking at other websites and comparing the websites with ours. Fortunately for us, we have a very talented webmaster, Miss Marva Ballard. And one of the things that she called to my attention was the fact that we're using a dated platform, a platform that has already signaled to everyone that they will make no more changes. In other words, if we have any issues or problems with it, they're not going to come to our rescue. So what I'm recommending is that we look at, and the executive committee has the information regarding the recommendations from Ms. Ballard. The last thing I want to just share with you is concern, and it's one that I've been thinking about. I don't have the answer to it, but the enthusiasm gap for being a member of the Alumni Association in respective communities. When I came aboard with the Detroit alumni, it was a highly active alumni association. And one of the things that we used to do was to make sure we got to the meetings early, because a lot of times you wouldn't find a seat or parking space. Well, those days are over. And we have to find a way to reinvigorate our chapters. I've talked with a number of chapter presidents, and I have observed from them low attendance. We still have, regardless of the chapter, we have the faithful few. They work very hard, and somehow others are not joining in. And so I think that we need to look at a way in which we can at least look at a new beginning. And I think one of the things that we need to do as far as a new beginning is to take a look at our college, our students, trying to get them to understand right from the start that it is important for them once they have graduated from our college, that they give back, that they give. Recently I was at the funeral of one of my wife's uncles, and one of the ministers there was a graduate from Claflin College. And we had a very lengthy conversation afterwards. And one of the things that he made very clear to me when I asked him the question, how is it that such a large percentage of your graduates give back to your college? And he smiled and said, hey, Gene, it's baked in. We bake it in. And I said, what do you mean? He said, from the time the students step on the grounds of Claflin College, we bake it into their heads that it's important for them to give back. And fortunately for us, they are giving back. So we need to make a connection, we being our association, with what we're doing and the college, the institution for institutional advancement. Time does not allow me to discuss the full agenda with you. However, as I said earlier, we have a lot of work to do. Here are the things that will be occupying my work time for our association in the coming months between now and May. Of course, the completion of our legacy campaign and getting our 219 fundraising project off the ground, planning for the triennial, implementing the strategic plan, and working with the Office of Institutional Advancement. This is an area where we have to develop a working relationship. There are only about 200 or so of us in the association, but we need to work with this office in particular to get our message, to get our appeals out to a larger group. The last thing, of course, is chapter development. I want to thank all of you for your hard work. I encourage you to hang in there. Look forward to the future. I'm quite sure it's going to be bright for all of us with hard work. I want to thank in particular Russell for filling in my absence. And I look forward to seeing all of you, hopefully in May, if not sooner. Have a great meeting. Thank you.